Diana Steele joins us now to take your calls on nutrition. Nice to see you.
Thank you.
I have my own questions too. We'll get to calls right away. Monica's calling from Port Moody. Hi, Monica. Hi, Monica.
Hi. I was wondering your stance on probiotics, refrigerated versus non-refrigerated, the difference and the quality.
Yeah, it really depends on the brand, actually. So I would talk to your pharmacist, if possible, and find out which brands they're recommending. What you're looking for is the dose, and make sure that you're getting at least 1 to 2 billion. But for things like IBS, you're looking at sometimes up to 50 billion active cells in a supplement. So you want to make sure that they are viable cells. And so some, I would say, refrigerated products tend to have higher quality, but that doesn't mean that the non-refrigerated ones don't. So ask your pharmacist which ones have been tested, because they do testing on these products to make sure that they are meeting the standards that are required for supplements.
Okay, thanks for your call, Monica. Velma is up next in Coquitlam. Hi, Velma.
Hi.
Hi there. What's your question?
I have a question. I have been diagnosed with multiple myeloma. And what kind of vitamins should I be taking? My doctor told me 2 years ago to stop taking multivitamins. The only thing I'm taking right now is vitamin D. Now, what should I be doing? My diet and my vitamins, what should I be doing?
Well, I do believe in having antioxidants, and sometimes when you're trying to cut back on the amount of sugar in your diet, people tend to limit the amount of fruit that they're consuming. So you could be taking an antioxidant supplement. So looking at beta-carotene, vitamin E, vitamin C, those sorts of antioxidants, selenium in an antioxidant type supplement. But really, calcium and vitamin D are two of the most important ones, especially with medications that you're taking. You're going to be losing some calcium in your urine, and if you're over the age of 50, you need to get at least 1,200 milligrams of calcium per day to maintain your bone health. So calcium and vitamin D are two of the most important ones, and then antioxidants are sort of an extra bonus.
Okay, thanks very much for your call, Velma. June is up next. Hi, June.
Hi.
What's your question for Diana?
I want Diana to tell me her opinion of GMO products.
Of GMOs, okay.
Yeah, genetically modified organisms, and actually...
genetically modified, yes. I'm really curious. It seems to be coming in as a negative thing for sure, but I want her to speak to it.
Sure,
Thank you.
Sure, thanks. So we have lots of foods in our diet, and in our the food that we've been eating for many, many years has been genetically modified. So the actual term is GM, or genetically modified foods. If it's a GMO, it's a genetically modified organism, which would mean that they're taking the DNA from an actual organism, like a bacteria or a small cellular organism. For some food products, I believe that potentially there's a lot of benefit in having these genetic modifications where they have altered the genetic makeup so that this particular plant would produce a protein that is produced in another plant that tends to make that plant more resistant to pesticides and herbicides, and therefore you wouldn't need to use those pesticides and herbicides on the foods. They're very highly tested. I think there's 9 or 10 foods that are actually allowed on the market nowadays. There are lots of risks around, when you are modifying foods, what could potentially happen if you're putting in a protein that someone is allergic to that's from a different kind of plant. So that's why those foods don't make it to the market. So it's definitely something to watch, and I think there's a lot of potential. And if it leads to foods that have lower pesticides and herbicides, that's great, just as long as we're not compromising the nutritional value of that food.
Right, okay. David is on the line from Penticton. Hi, David.
Hi there.
Hi, what's your question?
I've got chronic kidney disease, and I'm just curious about certain diet to follow, and especially what supplements might be good for it.
Yeah, with kidney disease, there are so many different factors that are affected. You really need to have a look at your blood work. So I'm assuming that you're working with a dietitian in the hospital, and if you're not, I would get a referral to a dietitian so that you can actually work with them to see specifically what's going on with your blood work and then have the appropriate diet. Sometimes you have to monitor your phosphorus, your magnesium, you have to watch your protein intake, so there's lots of different issues, so I wouldn't want to counsel you on that over the television.
Needs to be a little more personalized.
Yes,
okay.
Absolutely. Very specific.
I believe it's Lisa from Salt Spring. Hi, Lisa.
Hi.
Hi there. What's your question for Diana?
Does soya milk or any soya products affect your female hormones?
So the interesting thing about that is some people that consume soy products, their soy sort of receptors recognize the phytoestrogen or the plant estrogen as their own estrogen and sort of take up the space in that receptor. Now, whether or not that affects the person or not medically is still under investigation. Some people believe that it may increase their risk for brain cancer or for breast cancer if they already have cancer. So the sex-related or estrogen-related cancers may potentially be affected. However, there's still a lot of research coming out, and I know a recent study came out saying that that didn't actually affect it. So I think stay tuned, but having 1 or 2 soy products per day has still been considered safe, even with those individuals. So soy milk can be something that you consume.
Okay. I think we're done with the calls, but I just have a quick question about acid reflux, because I've had this cough for a while. My doctor thinks that that could be what it is, although I don't really feel the symptoms. But anyway, what kind of foods would you want to avoid and then add to your diet? Or
yeah, you know, one thing I would look at is whether or not the acid reflux is a cause from perhaps not having the right bacterial flora in your gut, because that can lead to pressure in your, too much gas and too much pressure in your stomach, pushing acid up through your esophagus. And so that can be more of a bacterial thing rather than a food thing. But foods that are more acidic tend to be symptomatic, so they cause you symptoms. Something with a little bit of protein in it can help to close that lower esophageal sphincter, whereas something that has more fat in it will open the sphincter. So I would avoid really fatty foods. I would avoid peppermint, coffee, and chocolate. Because they all tend to be triggers that open that lower esophageal sphincter.
so no coffee and after 8s then?
Yeah, and don't lie down after.
Okay. I'm going to sleep sitting up. And no coffee, so I'll be able to sleep. It'll be good.
2 hours after you eat, you can lie down and try to wear loose clothing after a large meal.
Okay, excellent. Or just get more probiotics into my diet. Thanks, Diana. You can give Diana a call at 739-3290 if you have more questions, or go to our website, eatingforenergy.com.